fair catch again at the 29-yard line. Birmingham 14, Raleigh Durham 7. A Fire win, and they're in. Dick Vermeil. I'm Brent Musburger. This is Carter Finley Stadium on the campus of North Carolina State. You're watching action from Week 10 in the World League. This, the Birmingham Fire. They went away from qualifying for one of the 4 playoff spots. London already in. Frankfurt upset today in Europe by Sacramento, the first North American team to win on that continent this year. The Fire leading on the strength of a beautiful 50-yard punt return for a touchdown, and now Harris bolts out for a first down on the initial carry here of this series. Zeke Getson bringing him down. 11 more yards for Harris, who was playing for Montreal before he was turned loose. Montreal with a game against Orlando Monday night that could be big depending on what happens tonight in the Meadowlands between the Knights and the San Antonio Riders. The Riders need help here. They need a Raleigh-Durham comeback to have a chance for the playoffs. Harris bulls his way out to the 41-yard line with Ammons hanging on.
Really a nice play by the nose guard, David Ammons, being blocked by Bill Anderson. He's sliding along the line of scrimmage, and he had no place to cut back because the nose guard had gained penetration and was working upfield on him. It was a nice job by David Ammons. He has really improved the last couple of weeks. Claude Humphrey's been really chewing on his you-know-what.
And Claude is big enough that when he chews on your you-know-what, gets your attention.
I'll give you a clue. I had dinner with Claude Humphrey Thursday night. He ate a 32-ounce steak, and it took him about 5 minutes.
Well, here's the difference. James Henry dancing free at midfield and returns a beauty. 50 yards for the touchdown that has Birmingham in front, and we're going to return with more World League of American Football after a word from our ABC stations. We get ready to start the final 15 minutes. The Fire leading the Skyhawks 14-7. A Fire win. They go to the playoffs. Our attendance today, 16,335. And to Dick Vermeil, what about this game so far?
Well, it's just what we see on the scoreboard, 14-7. And if it's a punt return, of course, it's obvious, 7-7. And that's how close it's been. But neither team stays with what's real good for
fumble. Bell may have fumbled there, Dick.
But, you know, neither team stays with what's been good for them long enough to get it in the end zone. They move the ball and they stop and they go do something else and foul it up.
He was down. Yeah!
They're going to rule that he was down, and Birmingham keeps the ball.
Bell doesn't cough that ball up very often out of Boston College. Gabe saying, I need a break. Let's take a look at right in the middle of your screen. They'll hand it off deep. He's got it tucked away nicely right there. Oh, Ezekiel Gatson, 52, stripped him. The ball's out now. Can't see where it, oh, there it is, right there.
Timeout. Just behind the field house.
Did the Fire use a timeout?
Yes, they called timeout.
Birmingham used the timeout in the early seconds of the final quarter. Getting close to being penalized for too much time. We'll be right back.
Model Carol Alt, but this license to kill is about to be revoked. BL Strikers movie special plays Monday.
Chan Gailey obviously feels that his defense and his special teams are ready for the playoffs, but not yet his offense. This is a 3rd and 6 for Jones, who will operate for the shotgun, the blitz, and it's incomplete. They forced the punt. Well, he did not get good help from the coaching staff. While you were away, they told him that only one linebacker was on the field. Folks, there was a second one, and he was coming full bore after him that time.
Ezekiel Gatson from the top of your screen is going to come in untouched. No one picks him up. The protection was swinging left. If the protection swings away from a linebacker they're not going to block, they normally go hot receiver on that side. Obviously, they weren't doing that.
Maggio with a 10-man rush.
Ooh, nice punt.
Fires one off. Hargrove. Fumble. Loose ball at the 13.
That ball hit him in the face mask. I wonder if he had sun problem. That ball hit him in the face mask.
The Fire may have pounced on it. You bet. First down, Birmingham, and there's another special team play.
That's a major turnover. You know, a few weeks ago when we did the Raleigh-Durham game, Hargrove fumbled 2 punts that day. Had a bad day, but I think the ball hits his face mask. Yes, it did. Boy, better check his contact lenses, or else he was looking into the sun. But he fumbled 2 3 weeks ago, and he hadn't fumbled any prior to that game. Now
This is a face mask that San Antonio will not soon forget.
Yeah.
That was right. Lead 6'11". Lead 6'11". Ready?
San Antonio needing a win by Raleigh-Durham to have a chance tonight for the playoffs. A Fire victory, and they're in. They wrap up the North American West. Jones runs Harris on first down, trying to swing to the outside, and he pounds his way free to the end zone. What a run by Harris. Touchdown, Birmingham.
Individual effort. You know, losing teams find a way to lose. That's just like saying when winning teams are winning, they find a way to win them. They come up with the plays. Taking a look at that from the end zone, he didn't want to run to the right. He starts to his left. See that? No blocking, just reading draw. Now he gets up underneath the safety. Hendrickson, number 42, and that is just effort all the way. Jackson's trying to get him down, number 47. He can't do it. Really strong running by Harris at 226 pounds. Here he is again. See, McFadder, 23, reaches for the hands. Peta Samuel hits him, just bounced off him.
Lyle set to attempt the extra point. And buried that one. Birmingham in control and headed for the World League playoffs, and Ozzie Smith never did it any better. Way to go.
Eric Hickerson just blitzed his way up the top of your screen. You'll see him come. He penetrates too deep. Now the ball breaks up underneath him. Gets a nice block by Ross, number 52, on the safety. That's when the safety blitz kills you. He was too wide.
Agio keeping it low on the ground, fielded at the 21 by Sprinkles, and brought down by a nice hit. That was Stephen Avery who brought him down, and this has not been a spectacular offensive show, folks. We've had 6 turnovers. Birmingham has had some big plays, that punt return and that touchdown run you just saw. Now make it a total of 7 turnovers in the game. We've had 1 already in the 4th quarter. 21-7, Birmingham with a 2-touchdown lead. Hargrove steps in motion. Pizzo throws, and we almost had number 8.
That was a wing and a prayer. He made a play-action fake and just threw that, hoping it'd be complete. Did not really. Now he did. You know, the quarterback really didn't look. It's a slant pattern. See, they're running a fake inside to hold the defense. Now, and he just throws it blindly. See, he should get his body around, throw it in that hole, and don't throw it that high.
Sprinkles behind the quarterback in motion. Pizzo had time. He threw low and incomplete. CA with a diving attempt. And let's go down to Mark Jones. Mark?
Gentlemen, as I said earlier, Roman Gabriel promises win in final Skyhawks game. Well, Elroy Harris thinks differently. Elroy, big run there for the touchdown.
Yeah, we have to get out here and play real hard. I think we came out kind of down because of the 9-0 team. We just had to get some spunk back into us. And I told him when I was going back in there, I said, if you all block, I'll run hard. So that's what happened there. That was a draw designed for the front side, but it was open from the backside. And just ran with it.
Congratulations.
There it is, another turnover. Picked off by James Henry, who's already returned 1 punt for a touchdown. And folks, maybe you can lose them all.
They're working at it. They're working at it. See, he's in a scramble situation. Now he's going to throw back. Now the pursuit coming inside out normally intercepts that one. Here was the pursuit outside in. James Henry getting his 2nd interception. Pizzo took a pretty good lick on that, too. Watch him throw this ball. McDaniels was after him. Oh, he didn't get hit that bad. He just a little love tap.
1st and 10 for Birmingham at the 28. The injured player being tended to.
You know, he has a broken cheekbone. I'm sure that's not what's wrong, and he's playing with it.
Well, the Skyhawks headed for 0 for the season, 0-10. Here are some of the worst records in professional sports history. We've already talked about Tampa Bay, and they lost 12 more in 77 before they won. In the National Hockey League, Washington in 74-75 won only 8 times and lost 67. The A's, when they were in Philadelphia early on in the century, lost 117 games. What is it with Philadelphia, folks?
You were broadcasting those games.
73 losses. Yeah, 72-73. Pizzo, what a long season it has been for the players on this team. 1st and 10. Here is Bell. Dick, let me ask you about San Antonio tonight. Birmingham wins and eliminates them. Does that make it easier for the Knights because the Riders will have lost the incentive?
I think you gain a little edge.
Or will the Riders be very relaxed?
No, I think you gain an edge in this game, especially when teams are pretty even, like they are in this league. If you can find a way to get a mental edge, it's an advantage. And that would be an advantage, I think, to New York. That won't mean the kids won't play hard, but it just takes a little off it.
Now Jones throwing incomplete. Well, the starting quarterback was McAllister. After he throws an interception, he was taken out and replaced by Pizzo. And now with Pizzo injured, we expect to see McAllister re-enter the game down by a couple of touchdowns. I want to tell you something about McAllister. It doesn't mean that that he's going to get it done or there's going to be any great fireworks, but he is the kind of young man, and always was up at Michigan State, who might make something happen. He's what I call a busted play quarterback. When everything breaks down, he sometimes can get it done.
Quarterback
draw. Penalty flag comes flying.
He can do that too, Brent, as you've said. Last week, he had a drive going, got him down.
Offense. Repeat 3rd down.
In a position to score and throws the interception on 1st down. So that's, you know, coaches lose confidence in him. Here's the quarterback draw. Setting up, you see Innikas right now, number 52. See that left hand out there holding on to the jersey? Well, they called it on Anderson. Well, they could have called it on either guy.
Third down and 9. What's your feeling about Eric Jones as the quarterback for Chan Gailey?
Well, what they're trying to do with him, obviously, they don't have a lot of confidence in his ability to throw the ball across the middle and come in patterns, turn ins, and square in and post patterns, because everything they've been throwing has gone to the out or deep. Not a picture passer, but a mobile athlete.
This is suddenly a lot more than 3rd and 9. They have taken this ball back to the 47 for 3rd and 34. That must have been the most blatant holding call in the history of football.
You know, Raleigh Durham has turned it over 5 times, and Birmingham's only gotten 1 touchdown.
So they tacked on the unsportsmanlike conduct to the holding penalty for 25 yards in penalties. Jones rolling to the right, has all afternoon, fires and picked off on that far side, but out of bounds. That was Mack defending it over there, so Birmingham keeps possession.
That was a design rollout where you start straight back and then dash to the sideline and try to stretch the defense there. He really wanted to go deeper. Now here he is, 3rd and 34. You don't want to throw any high-risk pass. Maybe you want to throw a screen or run a draw and hang on to your lead and don't turn it over.
Well, Hargrove has been taken out, and Johnson replaces him as the return man after Hargrove's fumble allowed Birmingham to score its 3rd touchdown. And Johnson wisely lets that one go into the end zone. 47-yard punt by Maggio. He and Chris Moore, certainly the cream of the punting crop in the World League this year. We'll be right back. Ham close to qualifying for those World League playoffs, 21-7. The defense has done a wonderful job for the Fire all season long.
You know, Brent, they really have. They forced opponents to run 46 plays for every touchdown they've given up, and that's exactly what the best team in the league, the World League, London, has done. So they have really done an excellent job on defense.
McAllister replaces Pizzo at quarterback, back for his 2nd tenure, pitches to Birch. Nice cutback. and reaches the 23-yard line. Jackson there defensively, and the flag flies again.
Face mask, number 51, defense, 5 yards, second down. First.
The head linesman, Jack Pitkus, out of Chicago with that call. Long-time official in the Chicago area.
Here's Jackson in the middle of your screen coming in and see he's got this hand right around. Actually, I guess it's his right hand on around and got. Remember, you don't have to have the face mask, but you have your fingers inside that helmet. It's the same call.
McAllister fires to the right to Sprinkles for the first down. Let's check in with Mark Jones. Mark.
Joe, I guess it would be an understatement. I'm with the quarterback, Joe Pizzo. Joe, an understatement to say that this has been a terribly disappointing season. Doesn't look like you're going to notch that win today.
I don't know what to say. These guys, we hung in and worked hard as we could, try to get a win, and thought we had these guys on the ropes here in the first half, and had a couple mistakes on special teams, and that didn't help us move the ball any. So, you know, it's not over yet, but it's not looking good for the home team.
Thanks a lot for joining us, Joe.
Mark, thank you. That was Hines with the reception and another first down as McAllister moves them to 2 quick first downs. 9 minutes to go. Certainly plenty of time if, and that's become huge with this Skyhawk team.
Now they're coming with 4 down linemen and rushmen. They drop the outside linebackers and go with 2 inside defensive tackles and rush 4. Changes up their coverage. They get a little more heat on the quarterback this way. They flush
Middle is open, and McAllister will take off. Brought down by McDaniels from behind, but not before he got another first down for the Skyhawks.
See, they gain a little edge with that kind of movement in there. And he does have the strong arm. He can throw that ball on a rope 30 yards right down the middle.
They did not give him the first down, just short of it. So he's got a free one here if he wants to go up top. He does not. Lowry will get the first down. 8:15. Skyhawks need to keep it moving.
The one thing they've got in this situation they didn't have the first half, they still have all 3 timeouts.
Well, I'll tell you, on the roll, McAllister, if his receivers will continue to work.
Oh, they will.
He can find somebody.
You know, and watching these kids practice Thursday and being with them in meetings and that, it's amazing. You didn't read them as an 0-9 team.
Hines and Hargrove bust out. McAllister now steps away from the pressure.
No.
Intercepted by Miller at the 3-yard line. John Miller picks one off in center field for the Fire. Well, he did find somebody open on the...
Yeah, he found the safety open. No one was covered in safety.
Nobody was on John.
The receiver lined up in tight. Now that's Patterson, number 86, lined up as a tight end coming out. He goes out. There's a scramble situation. He moves on, and he goes up. But see, right now McAllister loses the fact that there's a deep safety playing the half the field just sitting there. See, he's just sitting there for that kind of a play. That's a gift early. That right there.
George Perlis taught him how to do that.
You throw an interception for George Perlis, you may not play for a year.
No, but John Miller used to make some big plays for him defensively.
No. That's right. They're teammates.
Oh, yeah.
You bet.
That's true. Michigan State did it to Michigan State. I had forgotten that fact. You and I were on.
We were on different pages. It happens.
Well, that does you
about 10 times 10 a game.
In the week 10 of the World League, it's understandable. Ganson and Carter were there defensively against number 31 Harris, who had a splendid touchdown run. A couple of nice runs, one by James Henry. How many turnovers have we had in this game now? A total of 8, I believe. Mr. George Hill, our rapid-fire stats man, 9, he tells me. I don't want to shortchange the boys in the turnover department.
Ooh, good play. There's enough solid kids on this Raleigh-Durham team.
There's the graphic.
8, 9 turnovers.
Oh,
Normally,
you know,
lose.
wait a minute.
Go
You know
ahead.
what? You know how I can tell you're really a football fan? You're really into the game.
Yeah.
Here it is. It's 21-7. They've turned it over 6 times. Guy runs up the middle for 2 yards. You got a way nice run. I'll tell you, folks, Dick Vermeil, he never quits on a football game.
Hey, those kids aren't quitting.
I'm up here looking at my clock. When can we get to the airport? And here,
You're buying dinner. What do
you're
you
right. Jones in the end zone. Fires high and complete.
Touchdown.
Adios. Oh, a first down to Willie Boyer. And he says, why couldn't I have just beaten the defensive back? Eric Jones took a lick and is down in the Birmingham end zone.
But to me, every play is a whole game. Each play, and if someone plays really well on the play, it should be acknowledged. Here's the hit. Here's Grabizna, number 77, coming around. There's that big Mullins again. Boy, when the coaches look at the game film this week, I bet he gets the boot right in the big push.
He must have already been hurt, Dick. I didn't think he was hit that hard on that play. He must have already been injured. I want to see who trips up Boyer here. He gets free. He's past Jackson. He has to go down to catch the ball and bobbles it. And then Samuel gets him by the right ankle and brings him down. You know, on that injury, honestly, I didn't. In fact, I thought Grabizna was even pulling up when he hit him. That's a 38-yard gain.
All right, just sit right there.
Sometimes you hit just the wrong way.
Whew. You better?
Yeah, he just punched me, man.
I know.
Fucking left hook.
That's the left hook that'll do it. All right, Eric.
Let's see that left hook. Oh, I see. Right up underneath the solar plexus.
Okay.
Right.
I missed it.
Get it up.
Oh.
See, he just got the wind knocked out of him by that
He
left
caught me in
hook.
the gut. Okay.
You next?
Yeah.
Bothering you anything?
Hey, Greta.
Did
Right
you
up
get you
in
under
here.
there?
Yeah.
Under there or in the chest?
Yeah, no, it's right up under here.
Here I was letting
He just punched
Grabizna off the hook, and he threw a left hook.
That's Mike Roberts, the
Yeah.
trainer.
Man, I thought I was dying. Yeah.
Strange feeling, isn't it?
Woo.
Well, next time that happens, make sure you get your hands above your head right away. All right?
Okay.
Even though you don't want to.
Right.
Okay. Let's
Okay.
see if we can get up.
Hey, I've got a question for you. What does that do when you put your hands over your head?
You're knocked. I mean, you can't do anything but double up, put your hands over your head. Now watch Grabizna comes in there. And he really didn't deliberately throw a left hook in there, but he caught him just right in the solar plexus there, and it really hurt.
Yeah. He tried to left hook me in the stomach, man. I ain't getting nothing. Fine.
Get a glass of water and go some jam.
This puts Brent Peace back in the ball game.
Comes into the game.
He's going to tell him, watch out for that left hook.
Well, we've experienced some things this year that I've never experienced in the television coverage of football so far. I'll tell you
Especially from
that.
the audio side.
They got that right. Oh, mercy. 6 minutes now. Brent Peace ends the pull off.
running.
And Bell busts down to the Skyhawks 47-yard line.
You know, you can see why he was the 2-time MVP special teams player at Denver. He is a good football player. They've used him as a wide receiver. He runs the draw as well as anybody in the league. Picks his hole real nice. That time he's running the counter gap. 8-yard gain.
With just a little more offense, you'd give this team a shot against
Any
London.
kind of offense.
True. They don't fire out offensively, I got to tell you. Here's Harris. He had one good run. This is another one.
He said if you block him, I'd run. That
He's to
time,
the 35.
you know what happened that time? Richard Schoenwolf, 75, the offensive right tackle, got whipped physically by the defensive end, and they ran right up underneath him anyway. Schoenwolf is from Penn State. He's played defense his career in college, and he's switching over to offense right now, and they really believe a year from now he will be their best offensive lineman.
We got Mullen, Tanks, Anderson, Iniguez, and Schoenwolf up in that offensive line. Brent Peace, now the quarterback, and Harris into the 30-yard line. Grabizna there defensively.
You know, you've called his name a number of times. He's a character kid. Like we said earlier, an honor student in electrical engineering.
And we know he's got a pretty good left hook.
Yeah, we know he has a good left. But, you know, he was an All-American at a little college, Western Reserve, both in football and track. Pretty good hammer and discus thrower, from what I understand.
That didn't look like a smoking Joe Frazier left hook to me. I'm sorry.
If he saw that, he wouldn't want it to be called a left hook.
You got that right. 2nd and 5. And here's Bell. Maybe to the 28, 27-yard line. Final 4 minutes. Birmingham headed to the playoffs.
To turn the ball over as many times as Raleigh Durham has, and the offensive team only get 14 points out of it because they got the 1 punt return for a touchdown. You'd have to say that Raleigh's defense played pretty well. There's big Claude Humphrey and Roman Gabriel. They have 5 down defensive linemen in there right now.
Piece on a throw fake. Fires complete for the first down. He threaded the needle to Ross. Puts it down. Skyhawks ball. Still alive at the 19. Gerald Mack, number 29. Gives the crowd perhaps its final cheer of the season here.
Special teams are so critical. If they hadn't given him the 2 bad plays in the special teams, the punt return and the fumble punt, right now you get the ball with 3:20. You're really fired up because you only need 1 big play to get right back in it. Here's the turnover.
Birmingham has created more plays with its special teams and defense than even London this year.
Well, they came into the game +8 in turnovers, and today they've got to be about +5, I'd say.
Now McAllister throwing, and a nice grab by Johnson at the 45-yard line. Good catch.
You know what he did real well? What he did real well is he went back, he set up, he looked right to keep the safety to the middle of the field. Then he comes back and throws the post. See, the safety's late in getting there. See Fuller? He didn't get the jump on the quarterback's eyes.
That defensive backfield will be going for the interceptions now. Underneath and over through McGill a little bit. It'll be 2nd down and 10. 2:49.
3 timeouts left. See, the chances are they're going to stay in zone coverages here. Not true prevent, but zone, like 2 deep, 5 underneath.
McAllister.
Interception.
Another turnover as Hunter steps in and gets one. I'm going to tell you about Hunter. There's a young man that should have been all-world this year. He has had a marvelous season.
He really has. Out of Central State, Ohio, played for Coach Billy Joe there. Throwing the ball late down the middle without discipline, you're going to get it picked off. You see, here he scrambles around, finds a hole there. He's settled in the zone. See, poor vision. You should be able to see Hunter coming on that one. He was just right behind him. But take a look here now. Hunter is lined up right here. Playing, he's going to go zone. See, he's just dropping off, playing zone coverage. Now he's moving back inside. Actually, I think he might have been playing him man the way he jumped on that one. Good job, Hunter.
Well, 1st and 10, and it is Bell. Birmingham content to run down the clock here at 2:30. We've had so many turnovers in this game. I think I'm watching basketball instead of football. We've had 11 turnovers here this afternoon.
Brennan, when I was coaching, I always felt